Hey everyone, welcome to the Rooster podcast. This week brought to you by, I'm Gus.
I'm Blaine.
I'm Chris.
I'm John.
I'm Gus.
I got pubes on my microphone.
Are they yours?
My bad.
Those aren't pubes. False alarm. We're all right here.
Yeah, so we were talking like right before the podcast started. Like I felt like, well, I did something really dumb. I guess I'll tell that part first. Like an hour before the podcast, like at 3:50, I was like, I'm going to upgrade my laptop to the new version of Mac OS.
Why would you do that?
It finished literally less than a minute to go. At 4:59, it was done and I was able to log in. Yeah, I'm in.
And it went off the black screen?
It went to a black screen for a while. I was like, do I need to reboot it? Is it going to be fine? Yeah, it actually worked.
I was in a meeting where I was exporting a document that I needed for that meeting. And this has happened in school too. I've been in school and I needed to like do something for a class, like export a video for a film class. And I'll be sitting there in class, like listening to the professor and looking at my laptop, and it's like just barely finishing. I hate that.
That happened to us at the first Let's Play Live in Austin, where we were supposed to have, and it's in the documentary. If you watch the Let's Play Live documentary, where there was supposed to be a video introducing the heist, but like there literally wasn't enough time left before the show for the export. Like the time left on the export bar was too far, and it was like just export it, just finish the export.
How did that story end?
We had to do a live setup on stage instead of using the video to set it up.
That's rough.
Yeah,
Why was it being exported that close to the
There
end?
was a fight about it, and if you watch the documentary, you can see it gets very heated.
Was that the one where Jack like had to apologize, or
Yeah,
not
Jack-
had to, but he chose to
Jack and
apologize?
Jeff, get into a little argument about why the video's
It was
not
a really
ready.
sweet moment afterwards, because then Jack apologized and Jeff had a nice little bro moment.
The drama, the action. Watch it now on RT Docs.
I don't remember if I'm in the shot or not, but I was standing there and I was like,
Yeah, anybody who told the story secondhand or even like after witnessing it said it was one of the most legitimately awkward moments they've ever experienced, especially here at the company. Like Jack legitimately like lost it.
How do you deal, Gus, with like conflict like that? Do you just kind
I
of
was happy it wasn't me.
Yeah, but say I were to come in like start a conflict with you in like an argument, just really guns a blazing.
I guess it depends on your validity of your
Yeah,
argument.
I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
If like Gus legitimately wronged you in some way, I would imagine you're a big enough man to like, apologize.
It depends on, I guess, my perspective of it as to whether or not I thought you were correct or not.
It smells like
And that's what
you?
it boils down to.
Do you and Esther argue very much?
I mean, it's not very frequent at all. But I mean, it's happened a couple of times, but it's really
That's
rare.
pretty good. A couple of times, and you've been married for
It's been a little over 11 years.
a couple times.
Yeah.
That's good.
We have a pretty good track record.
Have you ever been legitimately angry at me?
I don't think so. Have I?
I don't think so. I don't. Nothing comes.
I
to
used
mind.
to be a lot angrier when I was younger. Like when we first started Rooster Teeth, like that was kind of known as being like the guy who would get irrationally angry. But I mean, I think I aged out of that. It's gone.
I think you still carry on that persona, like the community perceives you as like grumpy Gus. And when I came into the company at first, I don't know how you guys felt, but I was like, yeah, Gus is going to be like an asshole. I'm going to give him his space. I think I'm like closer to you than most of the other senior people that work here. You're super nice.
I'm a nice
He's
guy.
He's super nice.
Nice guy, Gus. Good guy, Gus.
Play video games in your office.
rebranding right now.
Yeah, from now on.
Wait, so
Gus.
I want to find out, have you guys ever been mad at me, or like has there been any big conflicts between any of the podcast people that are on right now?
I think I can't think of what it was, but I can remember a time being legitimately upset at you about
I
something.
think when you farted on me.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. There are times where we've been in meetings and you keep farting and you laugh it off like it's a joke, and I'm just like pissed off at you because everyone,
I think that's
everyone is
hilarious.
in there is trying to do something.
That's why John is like the ideal friend.
Yeah.
Because I'll fart
can
and I'll be
fart
like,
on him?
I'm so sorry. And
Yeah.
then he'll be like, I can't smell it. And I'll be like,
Yeah.
But even though you can't smell it, it's still got a does it
Why
bother you?
would a fart that's like asking someone who's blind, like, even though you can't see it, doesn't this bright light and all these flashing colors bother you? It's like, no.
It's still something that came out of his ass.
I don't
Like
care.
you know,
It's like- If the
it's-
bright lights were coming out of his ass, a blind person might care about that.
like if you had no sense of taste and someone was like, "Here, lick this," and then you licked it,
Yeah,
and
but
then it turns out it was Blaine's ass.
Yeah, but when Blaine farts, specifically when anybody farts, the mixture of the particles into the air turns into such a low percentage.
You haven't smelled his fart.
No, but I'm saying like the
it's
amount
way denser than you think.
What if he farted on you?
I actually in college, I for a year I lived in a dorm, and when
Can you imagine where this is going?
I just like played stupid little boy laugh.
He was so excited about it.
When my dorm mates and we were in a hall, and so we were all like friends. We were like 2D. That was our hall, 2D, and when they found out I couldn't smell, they didn't believe me. And so they were trying to devise a way to see if it was legitimate. And so what they determined was that there was one guy in the hall who was known for his farts being extra bad. And so they set up a very scientific test of us standing in the hallway and him farting right into my face and to see if I reacted.
You know what you are, John?
What?
You're like the kid. There's this kid named Kenny.
I don't think any story involving a kid named Kenny is ever going to end up well.
Yes, yeah. Is that guy?
No,
that guy?
no. There's this kid named Kenny in my middle school, and he was the kid who was like, he just wanted to be liked. And so he would like, people would pick stuff off the cafeteria floor, like an old gummy bear that was like covered in dirt, and be like, "Hey, Kenny, eat this." And he'd be like, "Yeah, okay, guys, all right." And then he'd eat the gummy bear, and then everyone would be like, "Oh," and he'd be like, "Ha ha ha," because he just wanted attention.
Yeah.
And like he thought that was like him making friends.
But this was like I couldn't lose in this scenario because I can't smell.
Yeah,
Chris.
you can lose.
I can't
because
smell.
You're the dude getting farted in his face.
You're gonna get pink eye.
You got pink eye.
Because
probably, yeah.
you know what, Chris? I bet you didn't do anything stupid in college.
No, I did
I'm
plenty.
sure
of
you
stuff.
haven't done anything stupid in front of a camera.
No, I've done.
I'm
plenty
sure
of
you
stupid
haven't
things.
done stuff that you'd regret or other people would
But I'm
think
not a
that's
Kenny. I'm not a Kenny, John.
I'm just saying you're throwing shade at me, and let's just look through your career reel.
Hey, do you want to make you feel better, John? Because Chris is attacking you right now.
Uh-oh.
One of the first videos that I had to, or one of the first things that I had to do when I was an intern was edit videos for RT Live. And I remember like sometimes we'd have weeks where we just have content out the butt. Like people had been filming stuff around the office. It was great.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you had to dig deep into the dregs of our old files.
dregs.
Yeah. So like you'd have to find like old crap that was,
I know what
lost. So I remember digging through our server and going through and just like, oh, this is crap. And then I found a video called Chris Diaper. And I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. And then I proceeded to watch, like, poor little college Blaine, a fan mailed in adult diapers into Rooster Teeth. And then Chris thought it would be a great idea if he and, I don't know, like Brandon or someone else put these diapers on and then proceeded to soil themselves in these diapers and film it for an RT
So you
Live.
shit yourself.
No, I didn't shit myself. It was pee.
Okay, you peed yourself.
Chris is the only source here.
No, it was
he
just
could have done
pee.
both.
You willingly peed yourself.
He did pee, but I remember there was like close-up shots on Chris's crotch, and I was just like sitting there like looking around if anybody else is watching. It's just like really
But that's
uncomfortable.
definitely not as bad as getting fart in your face.
Well, it was never released.
Oh, but mine was never released either because there's no footage of it, and I'm just telling you the story.
So that footage was never released?
No. So, for Extra Life.
No, I don't even think it exists anymore.
Speaking of for Extra Life, we had to get rid of the milk that was behind me.
Ooh.
It was the 2018 milk had to go away because it looked like it was about to explode.
You could have just opened it up to air it out.
What are you talking about?
No, it was you. Who was here? You were here, right, John?
I was here
Or
for the
Chris?
milk.
Yeah, it was really nasty.
It was
the 2017 milk is still okay. It's still back over there. It's
weird.
Wait, so the 2018 didn't last, but the 20... Wait,
Yeah.
what? 2016 didn't last? Which one was that?
2018.
the
That was the
fresh-
one that-
All right, I just
that
not
was the
realizing.
theoretically the fresher milk was about to.
Well, no,
explode.
they. It's not that it was fresher. They were both purchased on the same day. I just labeled them two different things.
Oh,
So that
But one was one...
one was
wonder if
ready to
it's-
explode.
I wonder if it's getting hit by light or something.
That's what some guys
differently?
speculated. I said maybe like in manufacturing,
Some
like
guy, one of your
I don't
coworkers.
remember who it was. Who said it? Was it Nick? No, someone said maybe.
Yeah,
the
some
light was
fucker.
ready.
I don't know.
I wasn't paying attention.
They're
I
all
was
a
waiting
bunch
for my
of
laptop.
generic
to
white
upgrade.
boys. It's hard to tell them all apart, okay?
True. It's just Rooster
Are you
Teeth.
watching the Let's Play Family Reunion? It's just a bunch of white boys in California.
Yeah, those guys. Jack rivaled my title for Cheese Master last night.
I've only
out drunk.
heard about it, and they even like touched on it. Apparently, he like passed out at one point, and he's fine today. But I guess he got really bad last night.
what
There,
did you
there was
do?
alcohol in a hot tub involved, which is not a great.
Like,
combo.
wait,
it's awful.
the hot tub was full of alcohol.
Yes.
There was not a hot
Yes.
tub of alcohol.
No.
Oh.
The hot tub was full of alcohol.
Wait,
Chris,
really?
It was full.
How were you salutatorian? You
You
do
were
so many
salutatorian?
things, and I question this constantly.
Why couldn't there have been a hot tub full of alcohol?
Oh, I don't know, Chris. How much is like per ounce? How much is alcohol? And then filling a fucking hot tub with it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Do you think you could actually afford filling a
Yeah.
hot tub?
Now we don't have to ask if Blaine's ever been mad at Chris.
Okay, all right, dude. All right.
Dude.
What is the point of this thing? It's like they're going out there and doing a bunch of jackass stuff.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
A hot tub full of alcohol seems within the realm of possibility.
It really does not. It doesn't. Because, like, you would have to heat up the alcohol. No one's going to want to drink alcohol that someone's been sitting in.
I wonder-
But it's also just the sheer mass.
I wonder if
the
it
sheer
heated
volume.
up and the vapor got in your nose.
I bet you would get
That's what I'm.
Is that a thing?
I'm legitimately going through like the scientific ramifications of an entire large vat of boiling.
Not boiling.
Just
Go-
Like 130 degrees.
well,
right?
alcohol
Yeah.
boils faster than water, right? Because the alcohol will leave, right?
But then it
But in a hot
doesn't
tub,
freeze,
I don't know
though.
in a hot tub, I think you would still probably be okay. I'm just saying, I bet you could get really drunk.
I bet you
fucked
could.
up.
Did you?
I think you die.
You probably would.
No,
Do you
no.
remember that shitty song from the '90s, "Steal My Sunshine"? By the group Led?
Yeah.
It was like a one-hit wonder. Yeah.
No, keep
I read-
going. What is it?
I read a little bit of trivia about the music video they made for that the other day. I guess like the label was really into it. They thought the song was going to be huge, so they gave the band $150,000 to make a music video, and they spent $100,000 on liquor. And they said that they had so much liquor they broke an elevator at the hotel they were staying at, trying to get it all up to their rooms.
That was
How
like,
do you spend that much money? I mean, I guess if you're gonna hot tub,
So that's what made me think about it. It's like I can't imagine. It's like you get all that money, like let's just buy liquor for the duration of this shoot.
I'm even thinking like, Alana and I were looking up the most expensive things that you could buy on Amazon. Just out of curiosity, it just came up. And one of them was lubricant. You could get an oil drum filled with lubricant. I think Couch Shop might have done that recently. But it's like $1,300 or $1,400 for a barrel of lube. So
that's it.
Extra life.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be cool. Oh, can you imagine a slip and slide with lube?
I think it would be dangerous. I think we'd have.
Someone would just like
A trip hazard.
like we'd break the sound barrier.
Man,
It'd
that
be like
sounds like a lot of fun.
it'd be like a Christmas vacation.
Yeah.
That's the only image that's going through my head right now.
When it goes down the toboggan in that nonstick coating. But anyway, so I was saying like I felt when we started I was upgrading my laptop. I felt like really discombobulated. I felt almost like one of those dreams you have or a nightmare where it's like you show up to class and there's a final and you forgot that you had that class and you're not wearing pants. Or some combination of that. It's like I only went to college for a year and I still have those fucking dreams.
Really?
I never had the pants or the nudity dreams, but I had the ones where you didn't study or didn't read or didn't go to class the entire time and just woke up with the worst panic ever. And I still do. I hate that. Like I'm a decade out of any school and I still have those kinds of nightmares every once in a while.
I have those, and then sometimes I'll have these ones. I don't know if it's based on like how the person is wired, but I have a lot of dreams where it comes to a physical activity and I can't perform. Like where it's like
Sex?
blank. No. Well, yeah, I guess that's been a dream, but like no, like all right, Blaine, you're in a race or you're being chased by something, and then I just can't. Like I'm running like slow motion in my sleep.
I think I've had a erectile dysfunction dream before. I think I've had that kind of a dream.
Yeah.
That's probably something normal, right?
I've never had one of those.
Yeah, I've never had
All
one.
right, that's
I've
just
had
me.
dreams where I've like had sex with like fat men, and I wake up and like, what was that, brain? Like,
I don't feel so bad about my dream anymore.
Wait. Let's delve a little deeper.
I don't know how it comes up, but I've had
Describe
dreams where it's just a fat hairy guy, and I'm for some reason porking him, and
And
I'm like into it,
In the
even
butt?
though like I wake up and I'm like,
why are you having?
I don't know.
You want-
Analyze me, audience.
I really don't put any stock into dreams. I think it's just like
No.
random
I'm
firings
saying-
of your brain.
Yeah.
I know some people are like, oh, well, this dream could mean that, or just this dream could mean this. Like, I just think it's just your brain. Like, oh, let's see what kind of kooky shit we can come up with.
Yeah.
I think there is some element of like your worries and fears. You know,
Yeah, but I'm
like
not worried
'cause
about
I don't,
missing
I don't
a test.
think I don't think like cavemen had dreams about missing tests.
Well, tested probably didn't
Exactly.
exist for
So
cavemen.
it's not like random.
They're like,
You can't dream about something that doesn't exist.
ugh, I woke up, there was white sheet. I don't know what means. Teacher, I don't know.
Chris.
I'm just saying.
Chris,
I do think it's.
Just keep talking. Keep talking.
There are okay. I have panic dreams about like shoots and stuff.
Yeah, and have you ever been on a shoot before?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so there's context in there for why you would have had that dream.
Yeah, so it's not just
Oh.
random firings.
What?
I'm just
No,
Okay,
You're amazing, Chris.
it's you can't have a dream. We know you can't have a dream about something you don't even know about. Like I can't have a dream about what it's like to exist in the fourth dimension.
you could though. You don't know. I'm just saying you could have that dream.
Show of hands,
No, it can't.
has anybody ever had a dream about existing in the fourth dimension?
How would I have a dream?
There's like an alien in the corner that's like,
Maybe someone's raising their hand right now and we can't see it.
because it's in the fourth dimension.
I can't dream about something I don't know about. That still doesn't mean that Gus is talking about it's random stuff of just what's going on in your head. He's not saying random stuff of anything in existence.
I had a dream the other night, sorry, Alana, that a girl gave me her phone number. And I remember taking the piece of paper and looking at it, and I couldn't decipher what the numbers were. And I think I'd heard this on the podcast or something before, to where your brain, you can't read.
I can read.
In your dreams?
I dispute that claim. I've heard people say that, but I can read in my dreams.
I think, though, like, my brain couldn't come up with an actual phone number, because I would really be curious if I called that number.
What it was?
What it would have been.
Yeah,
Dream
with-
girl?
with me-
Are you the girl in my dreams?
Hello? Morty's Pizza. Can I help
No,
you?
then you arrange to meet, and it's the big fat hairy dude.
Yeah.
I call it comes full circle.
The one I have most often about not being able to perform is in my dream I'll want to open my eyes. And I think it's my body really wanting to open my eyes.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm entering this fight where in my dream, my eyes are kind of open, but not fully open. And I'm trying to open them all the way. And then I'm just struggling with my physical body.
Yeah.
You just reminded me. Has anybody been following? What's his name? Adam Ellis.
That's such a fucking bullshit story.
Fuck
dude.
you.
It's so bullshit.
Why
it's
is
so
it bullshit?
easily prove that you can that ghost story is bullshit. There's a guy, not Adam Ellis, like the big Viking man that works in IT here. There's a dude who's a writer for a book that's promoting his book or some shit, and his apartment is haunted, and he's been releasing these tweet.
It's so good to follow, though.
Patrick
bullshit.
is on vacation, but he sent me that like last week.
Someone
It's
told me
so
about
fun to follow.
It's horseshit.
I don't care if it's fake because I don't believe in ghosts anyways. I don't think there's anything for a ghost to be. So I know for a fact it's fake and that there's a way to explain everything away. But it's super fun to like to read like what's going on. If he's just writing this like as he goes, he's doing a great job of creating a great ghost story.
I'm sitting there and poking fucking holes in everything.
Cool.
though.
You have no imagination and you have no fun.
I do have an imagination.
Jeez, Blaine is loud today.
I'm sorry. I had a Red Bull.
Man, got feisty Blaine again on the podcast.
But it's
Feisty.
it's
You
one of those
down that Red Bull, too.
the ghost story starts. I love how he started, where it's that he was told that there's a ghost in the place he was moving into. Do you know anything about this?
I know about this. I heard
and that
about this.
and that if you can ask him any question, but you can only ask him 2 questions at a time. If you ask him a third question, then he kills you.
Oh my god.
What is wrong with you? Why
Because
can't you have a little fun?
This is a new development that sounds like such stupid shit.
That's the beginning. That's how it started.
What? The questions thing?
Yes.
Because all I can remember is something is up with his hallway and the cats keep staring at the
No,
fucking door.
this is you got to go back to the beginning. He moved into a new apartment. He was told that story, and then he had a dream where he met this kid, and then he asked him a question. The kid answered. He asked him another question. The kid answered, and they asked him a third question, and then like it all went wrong, and he woke up, and then that's when a bunch of weird stuff happened. That happened even before the whole hallway thing. There's a whole bunch of stuff. It's a really long story. It's amazing to read.
So
I don't like that he's putting it out.
Who
as
cares?
real.
Who's he hurting?
Blaine apparently.
My feelings. No, yeah, okay.
There's enough
Good point.
There's enough shit going on in this world. There's enough bad news on Twitter that if there's one
There's
guy,
no bad news in the world. I mean, let's not just say bad
Yeah.
news on Twitter. There's bad news in the world.
that's what I'm saying. But this is specifically he's telling the story on Twitter, so that's why I was using that as an example.
I guess it's just the fact that it's fiction that's being presented as truth that's bothering me, because I don't like that he's fooling so many people when I clearly see through it. But I will give you this: it is entertaining to watch, and I'll let you have this.
I
Fine.
think
It's like going to the Blaine. It's like going to the theater and watching like The Conjuring. It's like based on a true story. You're like,
Yeah.
No, this is based on true story.
I think basically, shut up. I think basically anybody who's reading this who already is inclined to think of ghosts, cool. They actually think this is happening, and those who are inclined to not to believe that ghosts don't exist, I don't think this is swaying anybody. I don't think this. What's going on over there? What'd you do?
We'll get to it when we get to the
Okay.
read.
I don't think this is swaying anybody. It's just a fun story to read.
I guess, yeah, it's just ticking me off.
It's
because
like
people are like,
it's like when the McElroy brothers on my brother and me find eBay listings of ghost dolls and love to read the listings of ghost dolls.
Did they ever buy those?
No, they did buy one for their show on CISO and brought it onto the show, and it was a fantastic story. But it's like the same thing. Like they don't actually think that ghosts exist, but they think those are hilarious and they love to tell the stories. It's fun. It's fun.
There's two things that have been pissing me off on Twitter. That's been one of them, kind of low key. I'll still read it, but I'm just like, oh, it's such bullshit. The whole retweets thing, where it's like, hey, if you do this, then we'll do this. I'm just getting so fucking tired of that.
You mean like SB7 for
I
streamies?
love the Sugar Pine 7 guys, but I gotta mute those dudes because it's just overboard.
No, it's great.
You-
I love
okay.
it. I like
Killing
even
me.
like they're so
You
aware of it.
have-
Like even yesterday, Steven Suptic was like, "If this is the worst thing ever, retweet." Like, okay, yeah, absolutely.
It's awful.
You are easily triggered by social media. You get bothered by social media a lot. In
Yeah, what's
fact,
wrong, Snowflake?
to the point you react negatively to social media and people doing stuff on social media quite often. That's why you're blocked from me on Instagram.
Ooh,
Oh,
Wait,
I'm
wait,
blocked
you're
from you?
blocked?
Yeah, you complained about selfies, and I was like, all right, you don't have to watch it, so I blocked you.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But that didn't bother me.
You did. You literally brought it up to me in a conversation. You said selfies, and specifically my selfies, you think are stupid and bother you, so I blocked you.
I didn't say they're stupid.
You do
They're-
post a lot of
they're-
selfies.
yeah.
Cool, I don't care. Don't follow me.
Your donger was in one of them too, and I was just
That's
like,
from like 2-3 years ago.
Wait, his donger was in it?
His donger was in
This
it.
is 3 years ago. That's what I'm saying, is that you even bring up something 3 years ago as something that bothers you.
see, this is the podcast where nobody had ever fought with anybody, but tonight it's everybody against everybody. It's a fucking
Wait.
free for all.
When was his donger in it?
There was one where he
Why
like
are we
it's,
talking-
it's in
That was
black and white.
It was
and
like
he's
an
taking
outline.
That was probably when I was
Allegedly.
It's an alleged donger. That's probably what it was the last time I was really upset at you, because you made a big deal about selfies, and I was like, you don't need to make someone feel bad because they post a picture of their face on the internet.
I wasn't making fun of you for like, oh, you're making great progress with your body and you need to stop showing it off. It wasn't anything like that. It's just like, I don't know, it's just too many. It's just the
Cool.
overload.
What's that based on? It's based on your opinion. You trying to make me feel bad about me using my social media in any way that I want
We
to.
get shit on in the comments for this one. This is rough. This is not good. This is bad.
Eject.
When at the same time, I won't make this personal. I won't do that. Never mind.
Do I post a lot of selfies?
No, but I was gonna say.
Call me out, please.
I was gonna say that your girlfriend posts nothing but selfies for the most part on her Instagram account, and you comment and like them, and you like them,
she's cute.
and that's what it is. And there's nothing wrong with Alana doing that. I think that's fantastic. I like her Instagram feed as well. But it was literally that day I think you did that Alana did it, and I caught it. I was like, that's almost all of Alana's stuff. But because I don't know for what reason, because I'm your friend, because I'm a guy, because whatever, you decided to pick me out. And then not judge your girlfriend.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty
Well, I guess it's one of those things. I guess he wants to follow you because, and I would say the same thing, that because we're friends, but also I don't necessarily want to see your donger.
It wasn't even
My
that
donger.
bad. It was
I don't
nothing.
post my donger. Okay,
it
so
was-
that is an invalid statement
It
as
is-
to why you don't do
it
I
is
love that
so
we're calling it a
benign.
donger. Can I just say that?
Yeah.
Like I love.
I'm fine
It
with
is
the
so
donger.
benign. It's not even flagged. Like it hasn't been removed.
the donger picture.
The
the
donger
donger picture.
Yeah, it's a flaccid donger.
But it's still up there. Right?
His donger is so inoffensive.
You can't even see it.
Right.
Yeah. Not even gonna argue that.
I did have a conversation about the word dongle earlier today.
Like the little keychain thing?
Yeah, and how some people are like not offended, but like are bothered by the word dongle.
Why?
I don't know, because it sounds like dong.
It's funny.
It's a funny word.
Because it has the word dong in it.
Yeah.
That's why it sounds like dong.
There's when you're talking in computer terminology, like if you're dealing with multiple systems or like replicated systems, it used to be you would refer to those systems as a master system and a slave system, but about 10 years ago that began falling out of favor, and now you refer to them as primary and secondary.
Yeah, that's a whole audio term, master and slave.
So it's interesting how words can have a meaning greater than what you're talking about in the moment. And it never bothered me when I was dealing with.
Why are we cutting to Blaine taking his clothes off?
Fucking hot in here.
Well, here, let me read this.
Also, getting roasted didn't help.
I want to remind everyone this episode of the podcast is brought to you by. There was a huge fight going on for socks right next to me. I don't know if you could hear that the whole time. I've got my socks on right now. I'm MeUndies socks. They're really comfortable.
They gave us a bunch of free ones, so Chris and I have been fighting over them.
Oh man.
Did y'all settle it? Are y'all done?
Yeah, because I won.
Is it going to be a donger fight?
Where's the other ones?
You got two. You gave one pair. I thought you had 2 pair when that fight started, Blaine.
I had 3 originally, and then Chris stole them out from underneath my
Yeah,
butt.
yeah. I had 1 and you had 3, so I took.
Whoa, you got cool ones.
I have Gus's, so Gus and I can be sock buddies.
Yeah, I guess same socks.
These are cool. Which ones did you get?
They're actually really comfortable.
No.
Well, there's no shit. MeUndies is fucking awesome. I'm wearing their boxers right now.
That's all I wear anymore. So good. And then I one other thing. I may as well mention this now. I don't know if you've noticed, we have the Ruby Combat Ready.
I'm
game
combat
here
ready.
on the coffee table. It's gonna be coming to Kickstarter this Wednesday, September 27th. So if you're watching this live, that's 2 days from now. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's today. September 27th. Ruby Combat Ready is a co-op board game where 2 to 4 players join forces, take on infamous Ruby villains, and slay a monstrous Grim. It's produced by us and world-renowned board game developers Arcane Wonders. They've done games like Sheriff of Nottingham, Mage Wars, Viral. So players cooperate as Team Ruby, overcome a powerful villain, along with several deadly objectives that modify gameplay. Battle plays out as a series of duels, with players engaging the villain in turn. Dueling player is at center stage, driving the battle forward. Other players are assisting the player or tackling other objectives. Fast-paced, action-packed, tons of tactical decisions and surprises, and it's coming to Kickstarter this week. So be sure you check it out if you want to get more info on the game. They'll have it on Wednesday.
And so, if I'm translating that correctly, the game is a cooperative game where it's everybody wins or everybody doesn't win, that kind of a thing. Yeah, that's a whole like genre.
Brian's nodding yes.
Yeah, we got Brian here.
I like
Brian's from Rooster Games.
Yeah,
I like that kind of game.
yeah, it's a whole genre of games that I'd never experienced until like I don't know the last few years that was an actual way that games could play. Because you always think of games as just a versus kind of thing. That's super fun. What's the one game where everyone starts
Twister.
out? Shut up.
No, that was a movie.
What's the one game where everyone starts out working together? They're in the creepy house, and then at one point the event happens.
Checkers.
All right, we've marked on the calendar another day where I'm legitimately upset at Blaine because he's a big fucker. Huh? Betrayal and House on the Hill. That's a great game. I love it because you start off all working together, and then an event happens, and one person then has to become like the antagonist.
Yeah.
Is that the one that he builds the story progressively and it can go like any different path?
Yeah. And it's
fun
like a
game.
combination of stuff determines what the story is, and whoever's the antagonist has to go in another room, read what they're supposed to do, and then everyone else who's left has to read what they're supposed to do. It's pretty fun. It's a good twist.
I played that intoxicated. Ooh boy, that made things interesting. I feel like my what is it called?
Brain?
Yeah, when I'm like paranoid and shit, like that's like grows exponentially when I'm under the influence. And
Yes, it
whenever I
does.
play those games, I'm
It
like,
does.
oh god.
I have experienced paranoid Blaine.
Yeah.
There's another game I used to play a lot when I was younger. It was called Diplomacy. I don't know if any of you guys ever played
Yeah, I've
it.
heard that.
It's like everyone is a world power, and it's kind of like Risk, but without any of the combat.
like Risk, yeah.
Like your armies can move into territories, but they can never fight. So it's like they can move into an empty territory, but if there's another enemy there, they get bounced back to where they started from. So like everyone, there's a period in the game where everyone stops, talks to each other, makes deals about how they're going to move, and then everyone moves at the same time. And it's like sometimes you get fucked because people don't move the way they said they would, or
I love that.
so it's all about like trying to get people to move the way you want them to move. That way you can also move the way you want to move.
I, for one, would much rather stay in with friends and play a tabletop game any night than go out to bars. I would much rather do that anytime than go out. And I know that's not you.
No, being in a relationship, I absolutely agree. If I'm single, I'd probably.
I would actually like to meet someone at a tabletop party. That's what I would like to do.
Ooh.
I don't.
There's that like tabletop place that's not too far
That's
from
right.
here.
Oh,
I went there.
I went.
Where we
to
were there
one-
with Nadia's birthday or something like that. Someone's birthday. Josh's. Something like
I went
that.
to a tabletop place yesterday with Brandon, Paula, and Jordan and Holly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Did
like
you guys
that.
go go-karting?
No, we didn't go. Well, they
Good.
went, and then it got rained out, so then they went board gaming, and that's whenever I joined up.
I
want to go go-karting.
I genuinely despise the fact that in order to like meet new people or to find some for like to like go on a date with. Other than Tinder, you have to just go out to like bars and stuff like that. That's where everybody is.
Why don't you like just put it like if you on like those dating apps, like I just want to play board games with you. If you want to play board games with me, let's play board games.
I think my Tinder profile says something along those lines, where it's like I think it's something as simple as like I just want to watch British Bake Off and make out. That's all I want to do.
It's like if you're very specific, you're not going to get a ton of hits, but you're going to find what specifically
I'm not
what you're
trying to
looking
win
for.
someone over, like trick them into like doing like to swiping right at me. But it's like if you're down with that, cool. Swipe right, and we'll see how this goes.
We'll bake it off.
Yeah.
They threw like swipe left, and it's like, no, John, you swipe right. Like, well, I gotta go.
I've done that where like you're like, oh wait, which one's which? I like that Tinder's like UI like has like the nope that shows up. You're like, okay, I'm doing the right thing.
I think they copyrighted swipe left and swipe right.
Cool.
Really?
I think
Sue
someone
me.
told
We
me
saw
that.
Kingsman last night, and they had a reference to it in that.
Oh, they did because one guy gets shot down and she tells the guy like, follow my finger.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah, I hated that movie, but I love Pedro Pascal.
It wasn't good?
Man, that first one is so good, but with Matthew Vaughn, it's totally hit or miss, and it was a miss.
I
for
think
me.
the best way to put it is that there are two directions that fuel, or there's two things that fuel why people do a sequel as far as story goes, and one is that you have a new story to tell, and you want to use the original characters as a vehicle for that new story, but it's something you want to do. And then there's the way where you make a sequel where you just want to one up everything that you did in the first one, and you just want to do it flashier and again. And that's some people like that. Some people want that from sequels. I think that's why a movie like Finding Dory was very successful. That's all Finding Dory was. It wasn't really a story that was that necessary or new. But yeah, Kingsman 2, it's not a bad movie, but it's definitely one that didn't capture the same kind of feeling as the first one.
There was like a almost fucking shot for shot recreation of a couple of scenes, like the bar scene.
Pretty solid first act. I liked the first act.
Yeah, and then it just it wasn't great.
And then it just kind of
I saw it. It was good.
Yeah, it's good.
I still haven't seen it either. It's
good.
I need to.
It's real good.
That's what everyone says. Like no one's like crazy about it. It seems like. It's like, it's good.
I mean, as far as horror movie goes, I liked it a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't like all that scary. Like it wasn't like
I hear
jump out
that
of
a
your
lot,
seat
yeah.
scary, but like it was still a good movie though. It had some like fun.
There's
parts.
one scene in a dark tunnel, like early on with one of the like an ancillary kid, where he gets caught in a tunnel, and it was like I got freaked out.
that was freaky.
Um,
But none of these movies are gonna matter because the greatest movie of all time is coming out.
Did you see that Mark Hamill tweeted when the trailer's coming out, then deleted the tweet?
Yes, in Monday Night Football. I was actually referring to Blade Runner 2049. I'm super fucking stoked for Blade Runner.
I have super low expectations for that movie.
But it's
So do I.
oh man,
I have no expectations. I expect that movie to suck so bad.
no, okay. Well, I wish I had that
Because I love Blade Runner. And in my mind, they cannot make a better movie.
I wish that I had that because I have such high expectations that I feel like it might disappoint.
No,
But
I'm
Denis Villeneuve-
I'm
Villeneuve or-
keeping super under the radar with it. I think I watched one trailer for it. And it's like, if something comes on TV, I won't change the channel. But it's like, I'm really not.
when's
I mean, I'm
the
gonna go
last
see it.
time-
I've been
When's the last
dodging
time
trailers.
you watched Blade Runner, the original one?
About 2 years ago.
2 years ago? I rewatched it this last year, and I realized that it's not as good of a movie as I think a lot of people remember it to be. It's kind of boring.
No, it's definitely like slow.
And
drawn
and
out.
there's like a legitimate like rape scene in Blade Runner.
Yeah, I guess with Deckard
The
and
female robot
Replicant.
like is wanting to leave, and he tells her to stay, and he tells her to tell him that that she wants him to stay, and like it's like this is a little problematic here, Harrison.
Yeah, it's dark. It's
Yeah.
dark.
That being
I'm
said,
with you. I'm with you on that. I always feel like Blade Runner. I mean, I've only seen it once, and it was a long time ago in high school.
yeah, so that was me, and then I rewatched it and I go, oh no,
Yeah.
not as a little bit more.
I still really like it.
But the
with
new
you.
one has
the world building.
has a lot of creatives that I'm very much
I
a
will
fan
say-
of. Dennis or Denise?
Denis
Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
Near perfect director, and so I'm looking forward to see
All
what
I
he
remember
can
him
do.
from is Arrival. What else has he done?
He did that
Enemy?
Hugh Jackman movie where his daughter got kidnapped, and then
Prisoners,
Prisoners,
Enemy, and Sicario.
Sicario. Yeah.
Sicario is just fantastic.
And it's that was oh god, Deakins DP'd that, and he's like my favorite DP, and he's also doing Blade Runner.
yeah. I love the fact that a lot of these like directors like basically travel around projects with the same people, and it's nice because like a lot of people attribute like the look and final product of the movie to just the director, but it's like no, there's like a director of photography that was there as well, and there's art department. Like I don't think someone like Guillermo del Toro would be what he is without his team that he works with.
The one thing I will say, like I said, I haven't watched a lot of Blade Runner trailers and a lot of promotional material for it, so maybe I'm wrong. But the one thing that has struck me that seems the most different from what I have seen compared to the original is it felt like in the first Blade Runner, it was a world where almost like Japanese or Asian culture and the United States had really merged. It was mixed everywhere. And I haven't seen that anywhere in the new one, aside from that one scene where I guess Ryan Gosling goes and there's like Korean written outside of a building.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm wondering like how different does the world look in this iteration compared to the original one? Because the original one has a very iconic style to it, and I'm not seeing that in the new promotional material.
Yeah. It was like definitely in the slummy parts in that movie, but like every time they went to like Tyrell Corporation, it had a different look to it.
Yeah.
But when I went to San Diego Comic-Con, they had like a whole Blade Runner street that they did. They had this like big collaboration with Johnny Walker. And if you went into there, it was totally like stepping into Blade Runner, the original one. Like there was like they were serving Chinese food, they were serving noodles, and there was like Japanese or I don't know.
Yeah, and again, of course, they've just they're being very selective with what they're showing. I have no idea what's actually in the movie. But
I don't know. Either way, I'm stoked.
I'm excited to see it.
I already got my tickets.
Are you more excited for that than Star Wars?
I don't know. That's hard for me to say. I think like Blade Runner, this is probably the last one that they're going to do, because I don't know if they've mentioned doing like more. And like Blade Runner is almost of equal standing to me as Star Wars. Yeah.
Really?
It's just like that world is just so fucking intriguing to me. Like anytime, like I know it's like not one of those movies that you sit down and you're like, all right, about to be entertained. It's like, it's one of those nights where you're like drinking some alcohol and you're just like, I just want to chill and just kind of like think about life for a bit. And that's when I turn on Blade Runner. So I don't know. I'm really excited about it for, I guess, different reasons than everybody else.
Speaking of movies, did you see the trailer for the Mummy video game? The Mummy Demastered?
No. What is that?
Is it based off the movie?
Yeah.
The dark universe?
It's like...
Is this a real game?
This is a real game, right? This trailer that's going around?
It's on April 1st.
Has anybody seen this?
No.
Seen it?
No.
It's like old... It's retro style design, like 8-bit kind of looking art. There it is. And you play a soldier that gets raised from the dead and then fights through mummy-like, settings.
It makes me think of Ghosts and Goblins.
Very. See, there's your character, and he dies, and he's raised up. And at the end of the trailer is a pixel version of the female mummy from the Mummy movie. But there it is, which I find hilarious that. Like it kind of it made me realize that even though that movie was just terrible and failed miserably, there's other reasons why they make these movies, and it can be things like, well, we'll make the movie and then we can make the video game, and the video game's successful, then we still make money and that kind of thing. So just because the movie flops, there's like all kinds of other.
I was thinking about renting and watching The Mummy this past weekend. And
it's bad.
I was looking through iTunes, right?
Yeah.
And they have like the Rotten Tomato score there next to it.
Yeah.
16%.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's
that was like no.
Do you remember when the trailer came out and they'd messed up the audio and it was just like
they released
silence?
Yeah.
And it was just like ah!
I was really excited for that movie too.
So was I.
I thought the trailer was awesome.
The original Mummy movie is legitimately fun and good movie.
Yeah.
The one with Brendan Fraser.
I wonder if that's aged well though.
I actually should go back and rewatch it before putting my foot in my mouth like that. But yeah, this did not capture any of that, and it was so dumb just the entire time.
I just like that
down to the point of like, let's make the Mummy, but let's make her a sexy girl.
My favorite part is that they released like a big like marketing photo where it was Tom Cruise and then like I guess Russell Crowe and then just like all of the cast of the Dark Universe.
Yeah.
And they hadn't even released
Johnny Depp.
They hadn't even released the Mummy yet. So they have no idea how it's gonna be released, but then they're just convinced that they're gonna make this whole like cinematic universe.
I'm very excited about the rest of the cinematic universe.
Are they gonna continue making them even though
they were already in production with a couple of them? And even I think post the Mummy, they announced like the Creature of the Black Lagoon that they were gonna add it to the roster as well.
Who was the other? There was like a bunch of
It
people.
was
it looks like
was it
it's,
Javier or Benicio?
It looks like it's Javier Bardem,
Javier.
Johnny Depp, and that woman whose name I never remember. She was in. Wasn't she in the Mummy sequel?
Which one?
Oh, yeah, she was in Kingsman 1 too.
Oh yeah, she was in Kingsman. She had the sword
That's
legs.
the mummy. That's she's
Oh,
the
she?
mummy.
Oh,
She's the mummy.
She was also
She's a
in Atomic
dancer.
Blonde. Oh my god.
She got naked in Atomic Blonde.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah. That's
Um,
the
Would you ever
fact.
do a nude scene?
Would I ever do a nude scene? No, I'm not proud of anything that's going on down there.
You're in an episode of MDB where I'm gonna have to get you naked.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you got an episode of MDB coming up, so I gotta get you naked. Sorry about that, pal.
Wait, what do you mean that you got to get me naked? We've already.
Because it's in the script where you get naked, so we gotta get you.
Come on.
When you say, when you say it's in the
Hold on.
script, you mean it's in the story that someone already told.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they've told it, and now you got to shoot
It
it.
doesn't involve the one that
I don't want
we
people thinking
shot.
that it's.
What?
It's someone else telling a story about me getting naked.
No, it's you guys talked about it.
I don't remember talking about taking clothes off. I was trying to be really careful with that because I had to wear a skin tight blue
Look,
thing.
we've already
that-
all seen your dongle, all right?
Your
Donger.
donger, please.
Your
Chris.
donger.
I'm so just not happy with that.
We'll talk later.
Oh,
you
man.
don't have to if you don't want to.
Did you do a nude scene?
I mean,
He's done.
I already have. You guys,
Yeah,
Now, okay, so you say do a nude scene, but in Hollywood, a guy doing a nude scene
I'm
means
talking about
still,
show your
he doesn't
dick.
have
Would you
to
show your dick?
oh, show my
on
dick.
camera?
It depends on where.
You're gonna go
If
feet?
I had just imbaited and it was still
Imbaited?
it was still hanging low. My donger
Wait, you just what?
masturbated
Oh, okay.
because that's like
It looks good.
because it goes flaccid, but it's still at the same girth and length.
Yeah,
when
so
it's
it
hard.
looks more
So
impressive.
it's, you
You're
look like you're just hung like a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably then.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
so
guys,
you'd
we
be
gotta
like,
pause
I
this.
have to go jerk off, and then I'll come back, and we got 5 to 10 minutes, and then
yeah.
that's it.
5 to 10 minutes. You got fucking Superman over here.
5 to 10 minutes.
Well, there's that. I don't know.
10 minutes of that girth staying there? That means the blood is
I mean,
still...
but the room's got to be hot though. That's another.
I mean, I would request a cold room. I want as much shrinkage. I want it to be in an ice cold swimming pool. I want it to be inverted. I want people to be like, whoa, what?
Actually, wait. Squint? You want people to squint?
I want people to buy a 4K TV.
Just to see it. I think we talked about it on the podcast, but there was this kid that actually happened to in the locker rooms, and he'd be in the corner.
Is his name Blaine?
No. Although I think it did happen to me before puberty hit. I suffered from the same thing, but basically it's
what?
your penis, it's your pride is it's like a, oh shit, we've looked it up on the podcast. It's like a placebo effect type thing. To where your pride is so hurt and you just feel so self-conscious that your dick literally just goes oh.
What is it?
Wait,
What, what noise does it make?
It inverts?
No, it's it's like a shrinking dick, it kind of tucks in like a little turtle.
I've never had an inversion.
I think that happened to me before puberty.
Your dick went back in?
No, it was just it was just I don't know.
It was just a little
to do with
bump.
this.
It was a
There was
bump.
this one kid it happened to him every day in the shower, and it was he had micro penis. It's rough.
Dicks are weird.
Dicks are weird. I felt bad for that kid.
Speaking of nude scenes that you would film, has anyone here seen that Korean movie, The Handmaiden?
Yeah.
It's a lot of overly gratuitous nude scenes.
There's a
in that
lot
movie.
of...
Handmaiden? Not Handmaiden.
Not The Handmaid's Tale.
Okay.
The Handmaiden.
I keep meaning
Yeah, it
to
was
watch
pretty graphic.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, I enjoyed that movie, but even I was like, "Oh, come on, you're going a little over the top here." The very last scene of the movie is that scene didn't even need to be in the movie.
Oh, that's right. They did the
you're-
sharing the toy thing.
Yeah, you're you just wanted to see them naked. There's
Yeah.
no reason this scene should be in the movie.
That's the director of Old Boy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's kind of fucked up, anyways.
It's a good film. I recommend you see it.
I'll go
Yeah,
check it out because I
dude,
liked Old Boy.
Awesome story.
Also, the trailer doesn't tell you anything at all of what that movie's about.
No.
I started watching, it's oh, okay, that's what this movie's about. Oh, I was not expecting that.
More movies need to do that. What's a good example of a
I
movie?
think it helps when it's a foreign language film, right? You don't want to
Sure.
subtitle it
Those
or
usually have
dub
very
it.
little
It's
dialogue.
a very they do visual trailers.
Right. So the trailer focuses on the visuals and it plays creepy music to kind of build an atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's and that's it. It's okay, that works.
I
yeah.
feel like 10 Cloverfield Lane had some pretty good trailers that didn't reveal a whole hell of a lot.
For what?
10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, 10 Cloverfield.
They did, man. Every time they do one of those movies, marketing is.
They're
done
supposed to have another one this year.
Yeah, so apparently there is a third Cloverfield movie, but it was like under the guise of a different movie, and then they're like, "Oh no, this is a Cloverfield."
Yeah,
movie.
what was it called? It was God Particle.
Yeah,
This was the working title, I believe.
yeah. I don't know what it's about though, and honestly, I don't mind. They're probably gonna like release the
Yeah,
trailer.
they just
and be
renamed it Cloverfield Movie 2018.
Like, yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, it's out tomorrow." You know,
I
I hope they do. That's what I loved about 10 Cloverfield Lane is they announced it and it came out like a month later.
there's no hype built for it.
Yeah, it
I
was
just
like-
went in and I was like, "All right."
It's like, here's the trailer and it's coming out
good.
next month.
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it.
What do you think people still watch movies just for the nude scenes?
I don't think so.
No,
used to.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I was
before internet.
yeah,
porn.
like when I was like,
you'd
in
watch
middle
movies
school
just
or
for a
something.
bra scene or something.
Exactly. Like because the internet was not as accessible, it was harder to get to. There was like maybe people have like one computer in their house. It's like in the living room or something. I would watch movies
Yeah.
just because they had nude scenes.
Yeah.
Just to see maybe some boobs for like 5 seconds.
You say boobs funny.
Like you say it like a kid.
Yeah.
Like who's excited about it. Boobs.
Wait, how should I say them? Boobs.
Oh God, that's the brown note.
John almost spit take.
That was hilarious. I was a little
how should
kid
I say them?
trying to say boobs like an adult.
Boobs.
Wait, how do you say boobs?
I don't know, but I don't say it like
You
you.
just say it casual. Like it's not very casual when you say it. It's like
Yeah, you make it sound like you're worried that your mom's around the corner and is gonna hear you talking about boobs.
I feel like that was a big part of marketing too, because if you can remember back when they're selling DVDs, like early internet times, they were like unrated edition, and then it had like a picture of boobs on the cover, like covered up by like a skateboard or
I
something.
think that started with American Pie too.
Oh, for sure.
American Pie was the first one that was like the unrated.
First one for me was
yeah,
old
shit.
school.
Scary movie as well, maybe.
I hate those.
Those all are after American Pie.
Are they?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got
American
it.
they
Pie's like
parodied them.
1998.
98, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
98 or 99.
Yeah.
Here, let me read this other thing. I want to remind everyone this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by... Man, I feel like we've had... The Earth, collectively, has had a bad run these last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to respond to any of it anymore.
Between, like... It started with, like, Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah.
Then Hurricane Maria... Well, not then. Then Mexico had 2 earthquakes, one of which was really, really terrible. And then Hurricane Maria hits Puerto Rico. It's like, come on, give us a fucking break.
Yeah.
There's so many natural disasters going on simultaneously right now. I was looking at a photo earlier of the island of Puerto Rico that was taken at... It was a satellite photo taken at night.
One.
Yeah, and it showed like before the hurricane and the island's like totally illuminated, and then this is a picture I was taking like yesterday, and at night it's just like all black.
Well,
like there's some light in
How
San
many
Juan.
days has it been since that
I
occurred?
think it hit 5 days ago.
Well, the thing is it's like Houston or something, right? Not to say that Houston's worse or better, but like Houston at least has the benefit of it's connected to all these other places that still have infrastructure and aren't flooded.
It's landlocked.
But Puerto Rico, it's like there's no
They're an
there's
island.
nothing. It's an island in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, I lived there for a while, and even when I lived there, without a hurricane, electricity was spotty at times, and it would just go out. And now I think I read that it's gonna take like 3 to 6 months to bring power back online.
crazy, and that's
for the
and
island.
It's just America.
Right. Yeah, that's
People fail to remember that.
People forget
technically,
that.
right?
what's
Yeah.
that?
It's considered an American.
It's a commonwealth.
Commonwealth, but they are citizens.
Yes.
Yes, and it's like people don't realize, like, oh yeah, Puerto Rico. It's like, yeah, this is America where people are going to be
there.
without.
To put it in terms, there are responsibilities.
Oh, there it is.
Damn.
Oh
That's
shit.
insane.
That
Yeah,
looks
and then
like
they said that like a dam was going to fail in the northwest part of the island, and they had to evacuate like 70,000 people as a result of it. It's absolutely crazy.
Did you see that video of a guy who went to some beach and like the water had just completely like gone away? Like it looked like whenever there's a disaster movie and it's like going through a pre-roll newsreel of like, oh, all these things have been building up to this climactic event. Like
That
seemed
footage
like
is
one
going to
of
be
those.
licensed for a movie in the future.
Oh, I'm sure.
And that was for Irma, I think, when Irma was hitting Florida.
Yeah,
That
I'm just
happened.
talking hurricanes in general, but yeah, it's pretty fucked.
Yeah.
And then there's potential nuclear war going on.
Yeah, people don't even talk about Irma because these other 2 hurricanes were so catastrophic.
Yeah.
And then the earthquake in Mexico.
Irma was
Yeah.
Florida,
Yeah, that's the one that hit Florida.
and Irma didn't do as much damage as its predecessor, the one that came after.
Thankfully. That being said, the people that are affected by that, can you imagine? They're just like, we're getting outshadowed by all these other.
It's still a big deal for them.
Yeah. On a personal level, it's a big deal for everybody that just goes through it.
Right. They're still suffering from flooding and all that shit. I think I read that. Again, I'm not going to talk about Florida. I'm going to talk about Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, they have a mandatory curfew. People can't go out between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m.
Why is that?
Because it's dangerous. There's no lights.
Drowning and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's just crazy. I don't even know what to do to like. It does instill a feeling of helplessness that on a scale of like multiple hurricanes and earthquakes, stuff like that. It's like, well, what can we do? Like, what can we do to stop that or to help that? And it's like, I don't know what I can do.
Well, and we talked about disaster buckets, and I think not that that's going to help anyone else. But
Chris, are you doing an ad read for disaster buckets? What are you doing?
I'm just saying, like, I remember, like, I think me and Bernie talked about it at one point where we like had disaster buckets at our house, where it's not that this is like going to help anyone in Puerto Rico, but like I have a bucket of disaster food and like medical supplies and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, I tell people about that, and they're like, why? I'm like, I don't know.
I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think having what's Bernie call his bag, his bug out bag?
Bug out.
Bug out
bag. I don't think that's anything wrong with that. It's that when I look at something like Puerto Rico, that's literally just out in the middle of the ocean, and I'm like, short of the Navy actually being deployed to go take care of them, there's really nothing that we can do. I don't know. It's very, very disheartening.
Yeah. It's overwhelming, right? Like you want to do something, and I've tried, I've given money to some charity organizations, some relief organizations, but it feels like it's a drop in the bucket for like all that shit that's going on. And even if you try to like on social media raise awareness and get the word out there, it's like people are starting to suffer from fatigue. I think it's like, oh, now what? There's another disaster.
Yeah.
One of our writers, Dave, he's got like a grandma out there and some family out in Puerto Rico.
I think it's his grandma-in-law,
and they tried to see if they could go out there and visit her and help her. They won't let people in.
The airports are closed except for like emergency and military flights.
And then he was also like, her generator's fucked, and that's the only thing that she's getting power from. So we bought her a generator, and we're sending it out there. Hope it makes it. We have no idea, because like it could get looted. It could just they just get it out there like months later.
Yeah. Who knows if anyone's even delivering anything, or if the delivery companies are able to land at the airports there.
Yeah.
It's sad. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. I was looking at that. I was like trying to see like where I lived. It's like, oh, yep, nope, it's dark. It's dark. If I was still there, I'd have no power.
Why were you living in Puerto Rico?
My family had moved out there, and my mother had health issues, so I moved out to help take care of my younger siblings.
Oh, okay.
So I lived there for a while. And also, I also had selfish reasons. I was tired of working.
What age
back
were
in
you?
with my family. I was 25.
Oh, okay. So this is as an adult. You lived in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yep. It was awesome because I would help my siblings get ready for school. Then I had nothing to do, so I'd go to the beach and swim all day.
Wow.
I would like to meet this guy.
And then it was like, what's up? I made friends with like this homeless dude, and he was always like picking up bottles and cans to like sell them into the recycling. So it's like I'd go down and I'd just help him like clean the beach, pick up bottles and cans, and give them to him, and he'd take them off and go recycle them.
Did you like hit your head in a car accident or something that just changed you?
Shipwreck, Gus.
Chill. I had nothing going on. I had nothing. Well, I did have stuff going on. That's when we started Rooster Teeth. Like I wasn't here initially in the early days, but I had to do all of the I did like all of the customer service from Puerto Rico. It's like anytime someone became a sponsor, I had to like process the payment, upgrade their account, and then like make sure they had the appropriate access and everything.
And you were doing that for Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
How's their internet down there?
It was okay. I had a cable modem, but it was like 256K down or something. Like it was not fast.
Yeah.
No, it was I want to say it was like 512 down and like 128 up. It was like really slow.
Did you see a version of your life where you just stayed in Puerto Rico and then never came back?
I don't know. Maybe.
And like you still be like, what's Gus up to? And you're still like picking up trash with the homeless.
now Gus is homeless too. And the homeless guy just hang out all the time.
Gustavo! I like that question. I always like presenting that. Like, do you see, this crossroads in your life? This is the path that you went. You ended up at Rooster Teeth. But what had happened if you'd gone, this path, or if you'd stayed with this woman, or if you, went to this school? There, like my probably defining moment was I was like on my way to go to Texas A&M, Like I was just like ready to go. I got accepted to both colleges, but that was the one that I was like, I had no intention of applying for UT because I didn't think I was going to be able to get in. Not that A&M's a backup school, but it's not as good as UT. And I actually passed through Austin to drop off my girlfriend at the time to then go to A&M for my college visit. And it was that trip that I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I want to go to UT. This is great. So it's like, I don't know, I could be an Aggie. Like
I probably my diversion would have been right before college. I wouldn't have gone to college, and I would have just gone to focus on photography, and I would have just been what a lot
Never
of
had those farts in your face that really.
Yeah, it's the farts that changed everything. Thank you for focusing on that, Chris.
you could have never met me. That would have been so
I know.
sad.
Well, yeah. If I mean, obviously, everything has led up to me being here at Rooster Teeth.
And meeting Blaine. Yeah.
Then I have a question.
and culminating in me meeting my lifelong platonic partner, Blaine Gibson.
So if you're okay with farting in your face, can we do that as like an extra life thing? Is that
Yes.
yeah?
Yes.
Only if we get to release your pissing
No,
video.
no. I don't even think that exists. I think I deleted it.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. What? You've deleted stuff.
Have I?
I assume you have.
Do you know who would be I don't know if they're participating at all in Extra Life this year, but I think it would be pretty funny if it was Bruce, considering he's known for his farts.
Farts.
Well, Bruce and Blaine, Bubba, butt, fart.
If I could have each of them on each side and I just have my face
one
in
in
the
each
center.
eye.
Oh no,
we
could build a contraption where they where they fart into a funnel that then focuses it down to a tube, and each goes into one different nostril, and have like Blaine on one side and Bruce on the other.
Yes,
What if we accidentally diarrhea? And he's like, oh no!
I think that was in Jackass, wasn't it?
Then you would have diarrheaed into your pants because you guys don't have to be naked for the fart to exit and go in. And we're not having you guys' naked ass on Extra Life farting into.
Says you. I'd bare ass.
Yeah, we
were
already talked about the nudity question.
Well, no, we have talked about this, but I didn't get to bring it up. And the dick pic, what was that? What was
Shaft
that?
shots.
Shaft
Come
shots.
on, man. Jesus.
Sorry, you were in that too.
I was.
I had a cock sock on. That was it. Like I remember that day. Like they were like, "All right, clear set. Blaine's gonna strip down," and I just had a tube sock around my junk.
Yeah.
And I filmed that scene, and then they fucking blurred it. I was like, I showed my ass for this. I could have,
I had a dancer belt on for that.
Yeah.
It was Bernie's. It still said Bernie on it from a laser team.
Oh, this thing's like right up your ass.
Yeah,
too.
it did. I texted him a picture of it. It's like I feel like we've attained a special closeness now.
That's puts a bad taste in my mouth.
Not
Put a bad taste in my butt. Yeah, I don't know. I got a little irked about it. I was like, come on, guys. We can't afford to buy a new one.
Yeah, those things are like 10, 15
Or at
bucks.
least one that's not labeled.
It says, like, you can give me one. In my mind, I'll think it's new, but it says Bernie on it. God. It was so dumb. Speaking of butt stuff, did you hear about that
Great transition.
that woman who they're looking for in Colorado? They're calling her the Mad Pooper.
Oh, I have heard about her.
Whoa, I
have
haven't heard about this.
her.
Go on, tell me the story.
It's like out of Bob's Burgers. In Bob's Burgers, there's an episode where they're looking for someone they call him the Mad Pooper. But anyway, this is the real life version of that. It's this woman who has been caught several times while jogging. She stops and then just shits in front of people's houses.
Did she drop trow or she?
She drops trow, shits, and then wipes and keeps running. And this one, they interview this one woman. She's like, "Yeah, I saw her, and I yelled at her, said what's she doing, and she left." And the woman they're interviewing says, "I figured it was like a one-time thing, like an accident, but she keeps coming back."
Is it the same house?
It's like all in this small area. And the woman they're interviewing is like, "There's a restroom right across the street at the park. There's a gas station over here." And,
Remember we were talking about people doing stuff for attention? At least I don't do that. Okay.
I think that might have something to do with like they were old high school classmates and there's like a grudge or something. Because that sounds like if she's targeting that one lady.
well, no, the lady got a look at her.
Uh-huh.
So
There's multiple.
okay.
That's
Is
their
it-
thing. She just like runs around and poops.
That's
Is it the
amazing.
same yard?
No, I think it's like in a neighborhood.
So it isn't a specific vendetta. It's just a thing she
Convenience.
does.
It's a convenience.
I watched a security camera
That's not
footage video of a lady walking into a grocery store and she's wearing a dress.
Oh, God.
And just without even breaking stride, takes a shit on the ground. And then it's not even a half a second later and the guy walking behind her steps
That's it.
immediately.
I've
And he's
seen
like,
that too. I've seen
whoa,
that too.
whoa.
It's like how horses do it.
Yeah.
Horses just, have you seen a horse walking around like in a parade or something?
Just like-
they just walk around and they just shit and they don't even look back. They don't think anything of it. And that's that.
I have to stop to think to make myself not pee. Like there's a whole process behind it for me.
What?
Yeah. To make yourself not pee or to make yourself
When you're
pee?
pooping,
Not pee.
you're saying when you poop,
Uh-huh.
you have to think to not pee.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm capable. I mean,
I don't think that's possible.
No, you can't. I think you can only have so many things come out at once.
What?
well,
Have you ever been peeing and then sneezed?
yeah,
Totally
I've been shitting and sneezed, and that hurts.
It stops. It's like, achoo. It's like it won't.
Do you think sneezing is the same as taking a dump?
No, I have totally sneezed and pissed. at the
Yeah,
same
you
time.
can do that.
What's the limit?
I think. Oh, or like, have you ever also vomit? I think things with your mouth, things from your head cannot also come out of your ass. And
I had a buddy who was vomiting into his toilet, and then he started to shit while.
Yeah,
he was
but
vomiting.
not at the same time. It's like one in, one out.
Things
type.
out of your head cannot come out of your ass?
Like you can't be expelling things from both your face and your butt.
I wonder if it's because your body, like, it doesn't want to allow like an airway from like one point to the other.
It's got to maintain equilibrium. I know. I mean, but like you can't do it.
I want to prove you wrong, but I don't know how to do that though.
I'm almost 100% positive that I have at the very least sneezed while I am going pee.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
But there's
you
an
can't
interruption in the
sneeze
stream.
while you pee, but it stops.
See, now I have to do this to
know.
actually prove it wrong.
So we need to go get Pepper and take
it
it to the
stops
bathroom.
because your body goes and while you sneeze and it stops it.
You're saying you haven't been able to poop and pee at the same time?
No, I can do that. I can do that.
Okay.
I'm just talking about sneezing or vomiting. It stops the other one.
So you can either so what you're saying is that the body only allows either head functions or pelvic functions happen.
Yes.
Never the two shall meet.
Yes. Yes. That's what my studies have shown.
Gus, are you looking this up?
I will now. Can you vomit and poop at the same time? It auto-completed.
Thank you, Google.
Yes, you can.
No.
Well, maybe
But
you can't.
Only if you're sick.
Only if you're sick.
I think that's what I'm seeing is that it's easier for it to happen at that time.
Like in a weakened state.
You have to be really damn sick.
As in, it's not a normal bowel movement.
Don't tell me what's normal. I can be normal any way I want.
It seems like it.
If my normal is vomiting and pooping at the same time, don't judge me.
All right, there's.
Yeah, don't go too far
started-
down that hole.
I started scrolling too far.
you went image search.
Yeah, I'm not gonna click on images for that. Oh man, I wish. I mean, someday I should go back and like chronicle all the old podcasts and highlight all of the weird Google searches I did while on camera.
I love like what this job does to like your Google search history. Like
Or your targeted ads.
yeah, target
Yeah.
ads and everything. And from my desk where I'm at right now, I can see the monitors of two of my designers while they're working all day. And one of them is Tobin, who is one of our illustrators. And he's constantly looking up reference material for when he's drawing. It's a very common thing when illustrators, they have on one monitor, they have their pen, their screen they draw on, and then they have, reference stuff. And the stuff that I've seen him go up like excessively looking, because he does it for like, the posters that he's been drawing. I'm like, we are just fucking over your entire Google search history, because I know he's like, just it's all in the same account.
Like what is he looking like? Give us an example.
Well, like he had there's a poster coming up that we haven't released yet, but it does involve he had to draw some big muscles, and
It's of me.
he had for days just every image you could think of on Google image search of like bodybuilders and naked dudes, half naked dudes that were like showing off every like anatomically correct big muscles, and so it was just bodybuilders like for a week.
It's interesting to me, like the creation process for art like that, because I don't consider myself a very artistic person. Like trying to come up with an idea and then executing it's very difficult. And it was weird to me. I don't know if you heard the news about how Destiny 2 got in a little bit of trouble because apparently they had an armor piece that looked like it had Kek on it.
What is?
Have you all not heard this?
know
No,
what that
I don't.
is.
And I don't even
No.
know what. Am I stupid for not knowing what Kek is?
KK, it's kind of associated with like the alt-right and Pepe the Frog now.
Oh,
So it was like, it looked like symbolism from a Kek flag on one of the pieces of armor. And so they had to like patch the game to remove it. Then they made a long There it is. Then they made a long blog post on their website showing like their original reference and how this actually wasn't based in any of that. Like they had this other whole like train of reference images and like this whole train of thought that led to this.
Yeah.
But it is parallel to something else that has a different meaning altogether.
That's so unfortunate.
Kek, the origination is in World of Warcraft, the Alliance and the Horde could never talk to each other.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, if an Alliance player and a Horde player were together and a Horde player said LOL, the Alliance player saw above their head KEK.
And that became a symbol for the alt-right?
That's like something they've taken on.
Oh, you can say the same about Pepe.
Pepe,
That's a symbol.
It's called appropriation.
Yeah.
So it's just like this weird total coincidence that came about.
How
Anyway,
terrible!
Art is terrifying.
I feel so bad for the artists because they probably had no intent for that, and the fact that has to be associated with what they're doing. And Destiny's such a art-driven game. It's so beautiful. Like, when's the stupid PC version come out?
October 24th, I think.
I have another month.
Yeah, I'm waiting too.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Play PUBG in the meantime.
Wait,
I've been playing a lot of fucking PUBG. There are over 12 million players now.
Doesn't
I got down my ranks at 85,000. I'm so happy.
Doesn't Cuphead come out this?
I think
next
Cuphead
week?
comes out this week. Yeah.
That game has been in
Finally.
development for forever.
I went back and played Last of Us, the remastered version, and I'm super fucking excited for the second one.
Yeah.
'Cause
They
that
don't
game's so
even
cool.
have a release window at all for that yet, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's like a PlayStation Expo coming up soon, right?
Yeah, it's in December typically.
I'm sure they'll talk about it then, but
Yeah, that's when they revealed it was at PSX last year. So it was last December when they had that trailer, which is a fucking great trailer.
yeah.
Was
I'm
it
excited for that game.
like 2 E3s ago that Cuphead was like announced?
It was longer than that.
Forever.
Cuphead. I'm looking it up.
I think it was over 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, September
Comes
29th.
out September 29th.
Oh, I remember that. That was so long ago.
With like the
Yeah.
1950s or even earlier
Or no,
style
it was like
animation.
30s and 40s.
Yeah, 30s. And 40s.
I remember, yeah, man.
I feel like everybody's super excited about that game. I'm probably going to pass on it. Like, it doesn't super interest me for some reason. I'm not sure why.
It was revealed at E3 2014.
Whoa!
Oh, wow. It's been a while.
Shit, or get off the pot, guys. Come on.
I think that the game underwent what's the proper term? Like a refocus. Like they had built the game, and I think the initial iteration of the game. Again, I'm going off the top of my head here. Please correct me on Twitter if I'm wrong. Hashtag RT Podcast. I'm being serious. Only if it's live. If it's not live, don't bother. I thought the initial version of the game was mainly just like boss fights. It's like one boss fight, and another boss fight, and another boss fight. But they decided to add more story and flesh it out and add levels between the boss fights.
Oh, good.
So that's why like it's taken longer to come out than it was initially supposed to.
That makes sense because I feel like boss fights are only fun if you build up to them.
Yeah.
And it's always, I think, supposed to be. Oh, and someone corrected me on Twitter. Who is this? XX Panda Cow XX says it was the other way around. Alliance Kek. Isn't that what I said? Alliance Kek from Horde saying LOL. I thought that's what I said. If not, I'm stupid.
Close enough.
Yeah, I think you said no.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
So yeah, it's always supposed to have been a very difficult game.
What year do you think World of Warcraft will shut down their servers?
Oh, man.
Man, I don't know. Still has a lot of people playing.
They get a
Yeah.
surge every
When
time they
open
do
up
an
a new
expansion.
game, do you think they'll ever do a new World of Warcraft?
But even I'm sure they'll do some sort of sequel at some point. But even then, it's like they're gonna keep as long as enough people are paying to where it makes money.
Wait, what do you
Well-
mean they'll make a sequel? There's no need for a sequel.
make
That's what the expansions are.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I mean, there's probably some math involved where, well, it's cost this much to keep the servers on.
That's
We're
what I'm
making
saying.
this
But
much.
like relaunching
When does it get to the point? Because I remember the day like they shut down like the Star Wars online servers.
Galaxies.
Yeah, Star Wars Galaxies. That was that one. But yeah, I mean it's still big, and like I said, it gets a big resurgence every time the expansion. I mean, I played the expansion. I probably paid for 3 months of a subscription once the expansion came out.
Yeah.
And then I stopped and not playing it anymore.
But like, what if you had to guess right now? Put money on it. What year?
Oh, so we're gonna put it into the podcast.
Yeah.
So
Let's see.
When did it come out? How old is World of Warcraft?
came out
2004. Yeah.
You've been
Korea's probably
playing
gonna
that game
bomb
for-
us in like a couple of months. So
Yeah.
Let's say I have two potential answers, and I'm gonna go with. They're both not great.
I say 2025.
I was gonna say 2024. They're
I was
gonna hit
say that
20
too
years.
for some reason.
because it's 20th anniversary. I was thinking maybe if they want to shock people, they could do it at 2019, like at a 15-year anniversary. But that seems too soon.
Why would they, like, on an anniversary be like, hey, thanks for being around for so long?
No, then they can have like a big event. Like, this is the conclusion to the story.
Oh, okay.
Like, build hype for it, get to it, and be like,
I thought it was 2021, but I don't know. That's just kind of like a guesstimate, like where it's at right now. And like, I feel like in 4 years or so, it'll have died down, but I don't know.
Who knows? It might get to a point. I mean, they could always pivot it too. I mean, you look at what a game like Skyrim or Minecraft does, right? Like, I think Minecraft's actually a better example, where they take the game and then they just put it on every platform possible. And now they just had a recent update where all the platforms can play together. Like, you might reach a point where World of Warcraft is just on everything. Like, you've got it on your phone, you got it on your tablet.
People are playing it on their phone.
I feel like that's a different story though, because Minecraft was like the hot commodity. Like, everyone was playing it, and that time has passed.
World of Warcraft.
Well, that time has passed for World of Warcraft though. Like, I feel like it doesn't have quite the hype behind it anymore. To where they're like, we're releasing it on phone, and everyone's gonna be like, oh my god.
Oh, like, I mean, they just transition it to a service where it's like you pay even cheaper, right? Like, say $5 a month, and you can play it on your computer, you can play it on your phone, you can play it everywhere. It's like you've just got it.
I feel like they missed that window.
Well, World of Warcraft has, I think, but
you look at a game like Skyrim, which is already a few years old, and they're just porting it to new platforms, and they're still charging like the retail price for that.
Yeah, God, they must be making a bundle off of that game.
that's insane to me. The amount of places that Skyrim has just been put on.
And all that being said, I still haven't played it yet.
So Ben did
game,
confirm Cuphead was originally solely a boss rush game,
Yeah, because that was always in the trailer was them fighting bosses.
and the scope did change. Thank you, Ben. It's not glitch, please, but I appreciate it.
I'm excited about it. I love that animation style, and I love that the idea of being able to take something like that and turn it into a playable. It just blows my mind. You can take something that took people hours and days and months to draw, and you can just have a computer generate that same style, and I can actually play that character and decide what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Blows my mind.
Let me read this. I want to remind everyone this episode of the podcast is also brought to you by.
doing with your
What we say? Oh, you're talking about art styles. I feel like that about a lot of things, right? Like, so like animation and stuff like that. People were like blown away by like Steamboat Willie and that early animation, which is kind of what Cuphead reminds me of. And now it's like you said, in real time, you're doing all this. But it's the same with like 3D environments or VR. It's like this is stuff that used to require tons of hours of work, could not have been done in real time, and now it's just like, oh yeah, it's no problem.
Yeah, I guess it's just something about the fact that it's a drawn format. I don't know, because I just associate it with literally a cartoon I used to watch, and the fact that it's the idea of controlling a cartoon I used to watch.
What do you associate Cuphead with the most, cartoon-wise?
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
Like old
I think
yeah.
Popeye for some
old Silly Symphony style things.
Did you see that today? I learned about Silly Symphony and Looney Tunes that was on Reddit a couple of weeks ago. That those were just intended as promotional, like Looney Tunes was just supposed to be promotional cartoons for Warner Brothers music catalog.
Huh.
That's why it's called Looney Tunes, Tunes. And Silly Symphonies was the same for whatever studio put them out. It was just advertising for their music catalog.
You just blew my mind with that tunes.
Crazy, right?
revelation.
Yeah.
You never thought about it as a kid.
But wait, it was spelled
Tunes.
Whoa.
I was like, I've never thought about that at all.
You know what blew my mind recently?
What blew your mind recently, Chris?
Diddy Kong's Quest is not Diddy Kong's Quest. It's Diddy's Kong Quest. It's Diddy's Kong Quest.
Conquest, like Conquest.
No, it's not. It's
No,
not
you're right,
Diddy's
yeah.
It's not Diddy Kong's Quest.
Diddy's Kong Quest.
Yes.
Oh, that's the podcast, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
No, I think you blew Blaine's mind.
I didn't care. I never played the Kong games. So.
Do you think, so we're talking about the animation being blown away by it, and I remember going through phases like that as animation was progressing in its complexity, especially the 3D animation stuff. Like, I remember watching It's a Bug's Life and watching the grass move in that movie and thinking, this is photorealistic. And then you go back and watch, you're like, this looks like plastic.
Yeah.
And even later on, like Gollum was a time where it's like, that's amazing. That's a fully realized character in the middle of everyone else, and you're taken into there. And I guess we kind of got there with like stuff with like War of the Planet of the Apes and stuff like that, with like the motion capture of the face and everything, or
So
even
realistic.
like I'd say like Benjamin Button and all that kind of stuff. Like, You think we're gonna run out of those?
You think? Are you saying at a certain point, will it no longer? You won't look back and be like, "Oh, look how bad that looked."
Yeah.
Like it's just achieving
It's
such
gonna
realism. I think the breaking point was definitely in Scorpion King, whenever The Rock was the Scorpion. So good. So fucking
With
bad.
the guy at the bottom going, no.
He runs in.
I'm going to send something to the broadcast Slack channel if we could bring it up. It kind of speaks to the point that John's making. Let me see if I can get it in here.
Like, seriously, when I saw Final Fantasy Spirits Within, I thought this was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
This looked like just the fact they had pores in their skin and their eyes.
I remember that. Yeah,
That blew my mind.
I always get upset whenever you see like the Final Fantasy thing. And I think they did make a movie for that in that style, like that animation style. But like for Knights, no, was it Knights of the Old Republic? What was the Star Wars game? I guess it is Knights of the Old Republic. They make these awesome cinematic.
The Old Republic.
The Old Republic. They make these cinematic videos to promote the next thing, and they look so fucking good. And I want to see a Star Wars movie that's made like that.
This is an old like gaming magazine cover. It's like, yes, this is an actual PC game screenshot.
Unreal.
What is this? February 97. It's like just a little over 20 years ago, people were blown away that that's what a computer game looked like.
That's awesome.
You'd be pissed if a game on your phone looked like that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm looking at there.
But it's just like the technology and the ability to produce that is crazy now.
Yeah.
So much hardware for it.
But like, I don't know. I guess there is still things that happen that still blow my mind, like the stuff we can do with water effects now, and the stuff we can do with hair.
Well, a lot of that
insane.
stuff's like a plugin, right? It's like, oh, they're just gonna use the water plugin now. Boom, done.
Yeah. Well, that was actually really interesting. Was I used to love back in the day when we actually watched like featurettes for movies when you get the DVD and you watch the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
I don't watch that stuff anymore. But I love the Pixar ones because they really did go in depth into how they were able to, because they were, every time they come out with a movie that they had to have a new feature that was hard to animate before, they would one-up themselves, all the way from Toy Story being a lot of plastic stuff up to like human hair on people like in The Incredibles and that kind of thing, all the way into Nemo where we're doing water excessively. And so I loved watching the behind the scenes stuff, and that there was an entire department in these companies in Pixar that were just coders that were just creating programs, not like the actual animators. They were just creating programs that would simulate these things and able to make these things act a certain way.
I knew someone who was a coder at Pixar for many years, and her job was just to make shaders.
Yeah.
It's like that's all she would do. She would code to write shaders for the animation.
There's a featurette in the Finding Nemo one because they made all kinds of programs to simulate different kinds of water effects, not just like, waves above the water, but how it would look if you looked up from the bottom of the ocean, up at the sun and that kind of thing. And they even talk about that they had created this effect, which is essentially when you are at a fish tank and there's the corner of the fish tank. When you go around the corner of the fish tank, you're seing two perspectives at the same time.
Oh, right.
And they needed to create something that would be able to do that because there was a fish tank in the dentist's office. And then they realized they hadn't put a shot into the movie that featured that. So they literally put a shot in the movie just so they could feature that thing. And so there is a shot that goes around the corner because someone programmed that. And
how pissed off would they be if the guy who programmed how fish tanks react,
and it was just in the background, never really like something in the foreground that really needed it. It was like when they were making The Incredibles, they were original, because that was like, Incredibles was the first time they put a ton of human figures.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so they talk about how they made like a master person that then was just everyone was a variation of this person. But early on in production, they were told they're going to be all in the background and we only need so many people. But then as production went further and further, like people kept getting in the foreground and they had to create these very detailed humans that even if you go back and watch The Incredibles, it's not that amazing to look at. But at the time, that was like pushing the boundaries of what these programmers could do.
Right.
I think like the most iconic use of visual effects is probably the show Jimmy Neutron. Super realistic.
Thank you for shitting on my wonder once again, Blaine.
I watched The Incredibles the other day, and like it is, by today's comparison, I'm actually really curious what it's going to look like when they make the sequel, because like when you compare it to modern animation movies, like it looks like kind of rough, but the story.
yeah.
It's still amazing because it was one of the first times that they'd done a ton of clothes. Like before
like
that,
fabrics and
the
things?
fabrics.
Yeah.
Before that, like booze, like clothing in Monsters Inc. was like that. One of the first times they really like
the shirt swing and
made stuff actually swing. But then it was like hair was a big deal in Incredibles because they had these main characters like Violet has this long hair that moves and everything. And
Yeah,
it was,
but you could argue Sully though.
right, but it was even things like wet hair because they fall in the ocean and
yeah.
they come out and that kind of thing, and they're moving at super speeds. But yeah, when they did Sully, they had to do all kinds of things where they had to break Sully into patches, and patches would act certain ways and react certain ways instead of like programming every single hair. But Incredibles on a story and character and everything about it is a perfect movie, and I will argue that to my dying breath. It is perfect.
I watched the movie and it's like I feel like 20 minutes passes.
It's
like,
just
really
it is
good.
just perfection. Maybe one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah.
There was a comparison video I saw a couple months ago. Since you're on the topic of Pixar, little pivot here. You know, at the D23 Expo, Disney showed. When was it Disney? Yeah, I guess it was Disney. It was D23. There was a trailer shown for Kingdom Hearts 3, and they showed Toy Story characters
Oh yes,
in Kingdom Hearts 3, and then I saw comparison videos showing footage from Kingdom Hearts 3 running on a PlayStation 4 compared to the original Toy Story movie in 95. It's like in 95, this took, you know, rooms of computers, hours to render. And now look, it looks better on like a $300 piece of hardware that you can buy in your home. So it's
and
like,
you can control it.
yeah, it's like the movie and then there's the game.
Jesus.
Whoa.
It's like, it's
So
crazy to think about.
good.
It's like, and then yeah, like you said, it's a game. You can move the camera. You can. It's rendering it on the fly
Yeah, it's
for you.
rendering. It's well, that's what everyone was saying. Even like when what was the big almost prehistoric but sci-fi girl one that came out recently?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Right. I didn't play it, so I can't remember the name. But watching images of that, people are saying this is being rendered live on a system. Yeah, those kind of moments still. I'm like, this is amazing. We're in the future, and I love it.
And then again, in 20 years, we're going to look back like we just looked at that magazine cover and be
Yeah.
like, oh, that looked like garbage.
Well, that was something that they showed. There's a promotional clip they made for the most recent Planet of the Apes movie where it was Andy Serkis talking, and then they transitioned from Andy to Caesar. And it was an amazing clip to watch. And that's the big thing, was that they can now track, you know, a face and make it the performance. It makes me just think, like, what's the thing that we're going to be marveling at? Because like motion capture wasn't a thing we could do. It was everyone did it manually. Now we can just motion capture.
Well, now it's
stuff.
performance capture. It's
Yeah.
like it's even beyond that. It's like even like you like talking about the individual tracking.
Yeah, all the dots
of
on the
facial
face
features.
and everything. So I'm you know, that's the fun part of I think cinema is constantly pushing the envelope with stuff like that.
I remember playing Mario 64 and thinking I was in the future.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my God, you can move the camera. It's like 3 dimensions.
I remember
Yeah.
1080 snowboarding. There was a lens flare whenever you passed by the sun, and I was like, "Holy shit,
Yeah.
this is epic!" And like 1080 looks like dick now.
I think a really cool new thing that's happening in cinema is the idea of faking the camera, in that they can do things like these insane continuous clips of scenes in movies, but they make it seem like
Really
it's all
sleek
seems like as though
transitions.
the camera was literally just on this tiny drone. I mean, there's even shots still in movies nowadays that I'm like, I don't know how you did that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did that, and I love that. Like watching here's the clip, from that Andy Serkis starts off, but watching Children of Men. And
Yeah,
watching
that's like the one I always
the
think of.
360 scene, or even like watching the first Kingsman and watching that single take fight sequence in the church. I mean, obviously you can see points where they might have cut it in.
There's some like hardcore wipes in that with like people hitting the camera and stuff.
Yeah,
The craziest one though is still, like you said, Children of Men. That battle scene towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like an 8-minute long take.
yeah.
And
And to watch the feature of how they did that, and they created this vehicle with this rig. That's all a rig that they did, and then put in like windshields later on in digital production, like in post. But yeah, that was like this car that had the camera inside the vehicle. And was
oh no,
all
you're
in-
talking about another scene. Yeah, I know the one you're
about
talking
the car
about.
scene.
Oh yeah, the ones where they're
yeah,
walking down the
yeah.
street, but the car scene, that one's insane.
Is that the same director as
Gravity and
No, Revenant?
yes.
Yeah, there was a scene in Revenant. I think that like he goes down a waterfall or something, and I was like, "How the fuck did they pull that off?"
They pulled off the fight scene in Creed, in the middle of Creed.
Oh yeah, that's great.
It's actually a single take. They actually did. Have you watched Creed?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
So
3
that
times.
first fight he has is a single take fight, and they actually shot it in single
The one in
take.
Mexico.
Is that where it takes place?
Yeah, yes. So he yeah. Anyway.
And they actually, what's cool is that they then digitally put in damage and wounds so that they could just continue to shoot it because he gets damaged throughout this whole thing. That's awesome that
like
they use other features
swelling
like that
cuts.
to be able to do single take shots like that now.
Yeah, it's neat. But I feel like, I don't know, sometimes you got to be careful with that stuff. Like it can be a little too masturbatory and a little too like show offy and distracting.
Yeah, I think talking about Kingsman 1 pulling it off really well, Kingsman 2 has a lot of moments like that where it's just too much. It's a bit much.
And they're using that same technology to take out Henry Cavill's mustache for Superman. I'm really curious to see how
What?
Justice League is going to.
I love that.
Wait, why are they taking
I
the
love
mustache
that.
out?
In Mission Impossible, the upcoming one, I think Mission
Oh
Impossible
wait, I
6.
think you told me.
Yeah, he's got a mustache, and then they had to do reshoots with Whedon, so then they had to take his mustache out.
They had to take
I wonder
out,
if they had to get like a little green
Tracking marker,
or not even a marker, like a little cover. Like, if fast food people who have facial hair, they have to wear like masks to keep their hair out of the food. Like I wonder if you had to get like a little cover for his mustache.
Dude,
had to get-
Superman returning in the next Justice League movie is probably the worst kept surprise.
It was on the fucking poster at first.
Was he
The
really?
Superman logo.
Yeah, it's just like everybody fucking knows.
How's that a surprise?
Yeah, how's that a surprise?
Because
even
he's
if
not
it
in
was-
any of the trailer.
Yeah, because he's not in the trailer, and they're not like saying directly that Superman's going to come back, but Superman's coming back. Like they know, everybody knows that he's been shooting it. They've been like mentioning it and like.
Well, they did
it.
have a trailer. It's like, I'm glad you could be here. Or
Well,
like,
they still don't know. Like people are thinking that might
Like
be
it's
Lantern.
this, you can't save the world alone, and it's got all of them. But look, the Superman fucking logo's right there. It's like all their other logos.
Well, they're not going to kill him.
Well, they already killed him.
Well, I know, but they're not going to, like, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm an old comic book guy, but like that death and return of Superman is a story that's like 20 years old.
I get that,
30 years
and I
old.
understand, but it's still like you should try to lead the audience to think, yeah, maybe he's going to sit this one out, and it's not going to be for a few years, and then like it should be a surprise, you know? It's like Gandalf. I didn't read the books. I had no fucking idea who Gandalf the White was, and then he was there. And
Yeah,
I was
you're
like,
right.
Oh, my lord.
You're right. I like those moments. I actually,
my lord.
My lord.
I wish,
My
these,
lord.
I wish these franchises would kill off characters like much more.
This also goes back to our previous discussion about how The Handmaiden has such a good trailer because it didn't give shit away. Like maintaining that surprise where you can put a trailer out that kind of gives the feel of what you're getting into without really giving away anything important.
I don't watch anything past the first teaser anymore. And even when I'm in movie theaters, I look down at the ground and put my fingers in my ears.
I remember watching you do that one time. I was like, is John okay? You were like,
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of like, they flat out give like huge plot points now. And I'm like, I love movies. I love going to the movie theater. I love that experience. And the fact that going to the movie theater alone can ruin the experience of another movie.
But will you go see what a movie's rated before you go see it? Like if it's reviewed well?
PG.
Somewhat, but that's still, I go to the movie enough where it still doesn't deter me from seeing a lot of movies.
Quick correction. 2 people on Twitter, who is this? Total Nerdster, of course, and Sick Fit Curls, both have a correction. It was Alfonso Cuarón did Children of Men and Gravity.
That's right.
Inarritu did Revenant and Birdman.
There you go.
But I believe that Cuarón was a producer on
Birdman.
Revenant. I think he was still.
Oh, and Revenant.
He was like, I think they work together. They collaborate.
Yeah.
But he did not direct it.
Oh,
Thank you.
whoops.
I'm gonna like your tweets. Thanks, guys.
Gravity's another one that blows my mind. The stuff that they did in order to recreate that, of like that a huge chunk of the movie is just digital, but then they filmed people, like what's her name is the main character,
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock,
Yeah.
in this controlled space, making the motions they needed to make, like actually flipping her around and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
and then having to put her into it.
And then her like yoga pants and that
was a good
crazy.
shot. It was a good
Mind-blowing.
shot.
Yeah. What?
She had yoga pants?
Yeah, shit. Look at one.
It's this great like embryonic like fetal position shot where she's like finally got her first breath of air since like all the stress has happened, and she's in like zero gravity and just kind of curls up and just floats there. It's this great shot. But yes, she looks fantastic and her legs look great.
Yeah.
But again, I thought that was another one of those shots that was like, it looked cool, but it was like, all right, we get it.
It's
Like it was,
totally-
I loved it.
It was like,
that didn't
all
take
right.
me out of it at all. That was an emotional
Anytime
moment for me.
Superman does the Jesus pose, it's like, all right, we get it. Chill out. A little on the nose.
So, okay. I just want to make sure that we're saying everything correct, and it looks like nobody else is correcting us. It's always it's hard, like when you're talking off the cuff and live without. I mean, I try to look up as much as I can, but that slows the conversation down. Yeah. It's hard to.
Well, you don't do that when you're just talking to people.
Right.
Normally,
you're going to get
when you're
friends,
you're eating lunch, and you go, wah, 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 wah.
That's how you go. That's exactly how it is eating lunch with Chris.
Yeah.
We're getting close to time. I'm going to wrap up soon, but there is one more thing I want to bring up. I saw
the guy with the weights.
Oh no, but I'm going to bring that up instead. You're right. There was a guy in Germany who was working out. Well, maybe it started as a workout, but it ended up as something different. Firefighters had to spend 3 hours helping extract him from weights because he stuck his dick in a weight, like where the barbell should go. And there's an awful photo of it's just like the weight destroyed, like broken, because they had to break it to get his dick out.
What?
And so you were explaining to me when I brought this up earlier about how there's different kinds of weights.
Yeah, so there's like an Olympic-sized barbell, and I can't remember what the exact measurement is, but like the diameter of it, the barbell is like a little bit wider. I think it's like between 1.5 inches or 2 inches or something like that. So I don't know if that guy, I don't think he got it stuck in that big of a way, because then they also have like the personal gym diameter ones, and those are like a much smaller hole to stick on the barbell. But yeah, I also don't know what he's doing in the first place.
So
this is the firefighter spent 3 hours trying to remove his dick from the disc using a cutting grinder, a vibrating saw, and what they called a hydraulic rescue device.
Saw.
Wait, so he stuck his dick in the weight?
Yes.
And then it got stuck?
Yes. For 3 hours while firefighters tried to cut the weight off.
Was he erect?
I don't know if you're limp.
Or like, what was he doing it? Why was he?
He was probably fucking it, Chris. I mean, what do you want?
Well, but,
hey, wouldn't it be funny if in the picture there's like
he could have been working out. You don't know.
He like put the disc on his dick and would like lift it just using his dick.
I mean, honestly, he might have been doing Kegels with like a weight.
Kegels with that weight, man, that's impressive.
Yeah, but I think probably
it's 2.5 kilograms. What is that? 5.5 pounds.
He was probably doing weighted Kegels then to see if he could do it. My theory is that he was able to slip into it, and that's all fine and good. But then he probably got hard, and then the blood pressure just kept building up to where it like swelled up to where he couldn't fit it out. So it was just like,
it's like a Chinese finger trap.
Yeah, kind of
a finger trap.
But honestly, I would probably resort to like lubing myself up.
I'm sure they tried that.
But he was at the gym, wasn't he?
Can everyone just please stop fucking things that you're not supposed to fuck?
Yeah, Donald Trump, stop fucking our country.
Can that just be a rule? Like, if it's not something that is designated as something that is for that recreational activity, please stop fucking
Well,
it.
okay, don't put limits on, life, man.
Let's put limits on that life. You know what? Let's put limits so we don't get weight stuck on dudes' cock.
When I was an officer at my old co-op, I think I've told this story before.
The butt is technically...
I'm saying stuff that is not designed for that recreational use. I'd say the butt is designed for that. Okay? I'm gonna agree with you on that. Okay? But I would say that the hole in a weight in a gym is not in that category. So stop it, you dummies.
When I was an officer at my old co-op, I also ran the gym, and I got security camera footage of two people having sex while working out. And I was like, why would you do this?
That's fine. They're having sex.
They were lifting
it wasn't because
they were lifting weights and boning at the same time?
The guy was. He was like doing bicep curls with like fucking 10-pound weights.
Straight out of American Psycho.
While a girl was like blowing him. And I just was just like sitting there watching the security camera footage. Just like, yeah. Because I remember my buddy, he like had just worked out. And he's like, Blaine, I found a condom on the gym floor. So I think somebody might have thrown it in there. I was like, okay, I'll investigate and see if I can see what happened. And then I proceeded to watch the worst porno ever of this guy having sex with his drunk girlfriend.
And you knew who it was.
Yeah, because they lived in the building with me.
Oh.
So I had to go talk to him and be like, so there's security cameras in the gym and you guys had sex, and I need you to disinfect all the weight equipment because people work out there, myself included, and that's fucking disgusting. And there's like cum on the floor. And I had to like oversee while they were.
You had to like watch, and you were like lifting the dumbbell too.
You missed the spot. You missed the spot. But yeah, I had to like make sure that they cleaned. It was like babysitting. I was like, you did a bad, so you need to go in. You need to clean it up, and I had to watch them do it. So, I also had a homeless guy throw a porno mag at me because I told him to get out of her stairwell because like it was a safety thing. A girl was walking down to class and she felt uncomfortable. So she came to me and was like, hey, there's a guy in there. And I was like, okay, I'll go talk to him. So I had to, sorry, there's a homeless shelter here. You got to leave. And he threw a porno magazine at me. And I remember I just didn't react. It just landed at my feet. And he was like, get a life. And I was like, you're living in my stairwell, dude. Like, you.
You. The last thing I want to mention, I was going to actually mention before the weight thing, before you reminded me about that, was I saw this product called the Dad Bag.
Ooh.
Have y'all heard about this?
Is this the...
It's a fanny pack that looks like a gut, and you wear it, and they have like different styles as well.
It's so realistic looking.
I don't know that it exists yet. I think these are Photoshopped. See, I can see a hard line there. I think there's just like mock-ups for like proof of concept.
That might be the zipper though.
I don't know, but
why is this a thing?
I want one.
Okay?
Think about it. Then once you take it off, they're like, "Whoa, look how man."
Or you could wear it for a while. And then, like, take it off and be like, oh, did you lose some weight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Instead of actually losing weight.
Yeah. Instead of actually putting in the work.
Would you wear a fanny pack like normal?
No.
But if it was a gimmicky, stupid.
God, I probably haven't worn a fanny pack since, like, the mid-90s.
I threw away my armband for running a while ago because I think it broke. And I was trying to come up with a solution for keeping my phone on me while I ran and not having to hold it. And then I considered getting my fanny pack and like rigging it across my shoulder or there's like anything.
Any way to make it not just literally around your waist.
Yeah.
What do you care? You're in a relationship. You don't care what people think.
You know, it's true. I know. I don't give a fuck. Like I'll probably, once Alana leaves town, she's coming this weekend, but once she leaves town, I'm going to go back to mustache mode. Anytime my girlfriend's not in town, I wear a mustache. I love most of my mustache. It's like I can grow one now and I feel excited about this.
I like how you phrased in the way you're going to go back to mustache mode.
Going to mustache mode.
Mustache mode.
Mustache mode bling.
Activated.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. Thanks everyone for watching. We will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.